Up and down the lineup. They've won 8 of their last 9 games and are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Today it's up to Matt Cain to be the stopper and get the orange and black back on track. It's Cain against the Cubs. Game 3 of the series, and it's coming up next.
We've got another day game here in Chicago as we come to you from beautiful Wrigley Field as we get ready for Game 3 of this 4-game series, Giants and Cubs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwight Kuiper. Alongside me is John Miller. And look, the Giants have dropped the first 2 games in this series, John, and these games really haven't been close. I think what Bruce Bochy would like to see more than anything is to have his team just play a nice, clean game.
Well, and I think the main thing that's happened with the Giants here, it's been a battle of the starters. The Giants starters have not done well, although it'd be hard to say that with Vogelsong yesterday not having made a start in 4 weeks. He carried a 1-1 game into the 5th inning, but then he seemed to run out of steam right there. So the Giants need some innings out of Matt Cain, and they need Matt Cain to do what he did in Atlanta the first 5 innings when he pitched shutout ball, and for him to stay strong and not make mistakes in the middle of the strike zone, which he started to do in the 6th inning of that game. For him, I think the stuff has been more than adequate, but he has tended to make mistakes in the middle of the strike zone. So right now, from what we've seen, there are several Cubs who are going to take advantage of that. So the Giants need Matt Cain to be the old Matt Cain, be the stopper here today. The bullpen should be well set up for the late innings if he can carry them through the first 6 or even into the 7th.
And the Giants will face Kyle Hendricks. They've never faced him before. All right, should be a good one here at Wrigley. When we come back, we will have the lineups, and we'll also have the first pitch right after this.
Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 81 degrees, winds from the north to the northeast at 8 miles per hour. And that means right now it's blowing straight in from center field. 59% is the humidity. In the forecast, cloudy. Lots of clouds.
All right, let's take a quick look at the Giants lineup. It'll be Pagan, Oakey, and Duffy. Buster Posey, see where he ranks in the National League. It'll be Pence, Belt, and Crawford. Adrianza's going to hit 8th and Kane 9th.
Kyle Hendricks, right-hander, who was acquired at a trade deadline deal in 2012 for the Texas Rangers when they sent Ryan Dempster to Texas. And his first pitch is too high for ball 1. That is at the knees for a strike. Fieldon Calbreth is the home plate umpire. He's the crew chief for this group. Pagan hitting .261. And it's been a difficult road trip for Pagan. Only 4 hits and 22 at bats. And that goes foul just over the Cubs bullpen into the crowd.
Well, you see the numbers now for Hendricks. His 22nd start. He's 5-5. He's got a decent ERA at 3.67. He's a control guy.
Strike 3 called. And he throws a changeup. That's his big pitch.
Defensively, it'll be Schwarber in left, followed by Fowler and then Soler. Bryant, Russell, Coughlin, and Rizzo from third to first. Miguel Montero off the DL. He's doing the catching.
So here is Aoki. 305 batting average and a 369 on base percentage. Aoki came off the bench yesterday as part of a double switch. Ended up getting a single and a homer. Called a strike at 90 miles an hour. Kyle Hendricks, 6 feet 3 inches tall, delivers. Changeup. And did he swing? Yes, he did. According to Paul Schreiber, the third base umpire, on the appeal. So Aoki is quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Now maybe that's just a sinker, but a real significant sink to it, straight downward. And the foul off the left field line. Breaking ball at 78 miles an hour.
Here's our Togo's big play the Togo's way. Oakey's home run off of Tommy Hunter. It led off the 8th inning yesterday.
Popped up. There's a lot of wind blowing. Here comes Rizzo. Drops the ball. And when he dropped it, what was he, 15 feet from home plate?
Yep.
And they have scored it as an error on Rizzo.
And it wasn't a pop-up that was hit very high. And Rizzo is, he's the guy you're taught as an infielder to call off that catcher if you can. And this is one of those where it may be that Montero had a better shot at it, but everybody's been taught if you can get it, you should. And Rizzo thought he could.
Now, Matt Duffy. Giants get a break. They have a base runner. And diving safely back to the bag. Aoki. Aoki's had 12 steals this year, but I think they were all before he sustained the leg injury when he got the broken bone right near his right ankle when hit by a pitch. I don't think he's stolen any bases since he's come back.
I think you're right.
And a called strike to Matt Duffy, hitting .310, 9 homers, 51 driven in, 348 on base percentage. Eighth in the league in batting average. Double play ball. Russell to second one. Coughlin to first, and the inning is over. Giants scoreless. And now Matt Cain will head to the mound.
The lineup that will be facing Matt Cain, it'll be Fowler, Schwarber, who the Giants have had a hard time getting out in this series. Then it'll be Coghlan, Rizzo, and Bryant. Soler is going to hit in the 6th slot. Montero, the pitcher, will hit 8th. Kyle Hendricks and Addison Russell will hit 9th. Matt Cain 2-2 with a .491 earned run average. Cain had that big 6-0 lead in Atlanta in his last start. He threw really nice 5 innings, then he completely hit the wall. So he's going to try to bounce back from that and maybe duplicate the first 5 innings and forget about the 6th.
He never got it out in that 6th inning. Dexter Fowler leads off, and a fastball at 91 for a called strike. Fowler 5 hits and 24 career at bats against Cain, and a swinging strike 2. He also, however, has drawn 10 walks against Cain, so he's been on base a lot, just very rarely with a base hit. Look out. That one cutting off the inside at 87 miles an hour. 1-2 the count. Second baseman Adrianza is playing Fowler to pull. He's a switch hitter, batting left-handed. You see Adrianza back on the edge of the outfield grass.
Yeah, Fowler's home run yesterday came against Jasosic. He got a pitch up and he hit it out. This is the right area to hit it in yesterday.
A ball and 2 strikes. Hit slowly. Belt. 1 away.
And behind Cain, it'll be Aoki, Pagan, and Pence, the usuals. Duffy, Crawford, Adrianza instead of Tomlinson today, and then Belt at first. And Buster Posey catching the veteran, Matt Cain.
So now Cain gets his first look at Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber had a single and a double yesterday, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. He had a big 3-run homer in game 1 of the series on Thursday night. The Giants have had quite a bit of trouble with Schwarber, and that's in there for a called strike. Schwarber's only 22 years old. He's had 84 big league at bats and a .345 average, 6 homers, .427 on base average. Look out, that hit him. So that cutter got away from Matt Cain. He went way inside, almost hit Fowler with it, and did hit Schwarber.
Yeah, and they threw that one behind him. The only way Schwarber gets out of the way of that one is if he goes in another direction.
So it looked like it might have gotten him in the right calf, or the side of the right calf.
I don't think you can hurt that guy. He's put together pretty well.
He's fine. He's a catcher.
He's a catcher playing the outfield.
Chris Coghlan, and ball 1. 92-mile-an-hour fastball with 2-seam movement running away. No score in the game. Last of the first. 1 out, 1 on. Coghlan has some power. 11 home runs at .250 batting average. And did he swing? Yes, he did. Fielding Culbreth made the call himself. He tried to check, couldn't do it. A ball and a strike. There you see the flags in center indicated the wind is blowing straight into Wrigley Field. Right into the face of the hitters. The faces of the hitters. Giants middle infield pulled in a bit. Double play depth. But right through the hole. Base hit. Schwarber stops at second. And the hit by Coghlan. 2 men on for the cleanup hitter, Anthony Rizzo. The new speaker system here. They play it at the same level as you would hear at a rock concert. There's ball one outside to Rizzo.
It kind of forces you or me, who's ever doing play-by-play, to kind of wait until the walk-up songs are over with. Otherwise, you're yelling.
They say that our hearing loss during this series will only be temporary. 1 ball and no strikes to Rizzo. Rizzo hitting .294, 21 homers, leads the club with 63 batted in, a .401 on base percentage. Never had much success with Kane, though. Ball 2. He's had only 1 hit in 16 career at bats against Matt Cain. Giants are playing him to pull. Crawford, the shortstop, is almost right up the middle with his very powerful left-handed hitter. 3-0. Changeup missing, very high. The right-handed hitting Chris Bryant is on deck. You can see his numbers against Cain. He has not done well. He may not have had many 3-0 counts, though, against Cain in the past. Maybe swinging if it's a strike. Strike, but knee high on the inside. 3-1. Schwarber, who was hit by a pitch at second. Coughlin, who singled to left at first. Cubs with an early threat, and they've been scoring early in this series. Off the outside, it's a walk.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. And it's going to tail off the plate.
In this series, the Cubs got 2 first-inning runs Thursday night, 1 first-inning run last night. They're threatening to jump ahead again today for the 3rd day in a row. And it curved him a swinging strike. Bryant will do a lot of that. He swings and misses a lot. He's also extremely dangerous. A 23-year-old rookie. The Giants looking for a double play ball to end the inning with nobody scoring. And saved by Buster Posey, and the ball was way outside of Cutter in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryant has 14 homers, 61 runs batted in, 357 on base percentage. He's not hit well since the All-Star break. Crawford, great pickup, 1 out to first. Not in time, and a run scores. Off the bat, it looked like a 2-run single, and Brandon Crawford with a sensational grab, even to get the 1 out. The Giants, I think, are checking the video room.
Yep. Well, terrific play by Crawford. And you got to remember, Rizzo's a big guy. He's not being held on at first, so he's going to be right on top of Adrianza. Get out of Dodge. And they are not going to, I don't believe they're going to have the umpires look at it.
Well, we couldn't really tell from that angle on our replay, but apparently from the video room, Sean Dunston and Chad Chott working in tandem did not see anything that would overturn the call. And I think you see right there, he was on the bag before the ball was in the glove. Close, but an excellent call by Jim Reynolds. So 1-0 Cubs. Crawford. And another excellent play by Crawford, which he made look fairly easy. Wow. So the Cubs get just a 1, and the Giants can consider themselves fortunate. Buster Posey coming up.
Area is brought to you by Bay Area Mini.
Sunday, August 16th is our first Las Gamers Day. That's right. Spanish radio play-by-play announcer Edwin Higueros is the host, and he'll have a Q&A session in both Spanish and English. Come out to the Art, sfgiants.com/special events.
Giants down by a run, playing catch-up for the third time in 3 games here in Chicago. Buster Posey takes a called strike from Kyle Hendricks. Buster hitting .332, .391 on base at a .900 OPS. A broken bat. The ball ends up in the glove of Hendricks. The bat ends up out near shortstop, or most of it.
Now this is going to get in on the hands of Buster Posey, so it's a soft line drive back to Hendricks.
Bat boy retrieves the debris, which is what that bat became. Now Hunter Pence. Giants down 1-0. Pence hitting .292, and it's in there for a strike.
Well, with a guy that's got some time in like Hendricks, and these Giants hitters have never faced him before, you are going to get a lot of video because there's enough out there for you to be able to get a pretty good idea of what he's going to throw.
And he does really kind of come straight over the top.
And he really consciously wants to work quickly.
It reminds you a little bit, he throws much harder. Josh Colmeter with the D-backs. Probably even more exaggerated with Colmeter, but you can see him angle the body a little bit and then come reach the arm up high.
And you can do all that video work you want, but you learn best by standing in there.
3-2 over the outside. So if they'd had video when you played, would you have been a lot of time in the video room?
I'm sure I would have checked it out.
Just off the outside. Ooh. So Pence gets the one-out walk.
Now this is one where you hope the umpire isn't going to change his strike zone. Some umpires will give you that. In this case, Phelan Colbreth did not.
He had just given a pitch on the outside corner, the pitch before that, and this one was not far away from the previous one, but enough, I guess, that Fielden thought it was off the corner. Nerves of steel, though, for Pence to take 1-1-1 and just been called a strike out there.
Absolutely. Plus, he's a guy that likes to swing.
Brandon Belt, they've got the overshift on. Nobody at third base for Belt. He fouls one back to strike 2. 270 batting average, 14 homers, 48 driven in. A 346 on base average for Brandon Belt. Chris Bryant, the third baseman, is now between the first and second baseman as the third infielder on the right side. 1-2. Cubs keep the shortstop and second baseman at their regular positions and move the third baseman for this overshift against Bell. You see how they're doing it. Third base is unmanned. High in the air. Deep right center. Soler. Goodbye! Into the basket. It's a 2-run homer for Brandon Belt. Against the wind, although at the moment there is not much of it. And the Giants have taken the lead in this series for the very first time.
Well, we talked earlier in the series how this basket hangs out. There you see the pitch. It's middle in. And you can actually get a home run. But if that basket wasn't there, it could be an out. And I think there's an example of that possibly happening. It could have been off the top of the wall, but in the basket, gone.
Brandon Crawford, and it's ball one.
And the basket is there to help the umpires, basically, because of interference from the fans.
It happened so many times that was the solution. They did it here, and also the old ballpark in St. Louis.
Yep.
The old Busch Stadium. Put a basket in there, too, at one point. And the umpires were very grateful. Of course, now it's not so much of an issue because they have the replay.
Right.
But I think it has become part of what Wrigley Field is. It's been there for so many years. But not a home run in the old days in Wrigley when you had to hit it over that wall.
And that would not have been a home run. Pelt very grateful for the basket.
Good idea, that basket. Maybe the Giants should get one, he's saying.
Well, we've had a lot of our fans have touched balls out in our park. I don't think that's going to happen.
Into the Giants dugout, the far end of it. 3-2 to Brandon Crawford. 19 homers, 70 runs batted in. Buster Posey is third in knocking in runs in the National League, and Brandon Crawford is fourth. Over to second. Coghlan. And no! Coghlan took a little extra moment to set himself with a strong throw, and I'm sure the Cubs are now checking with the video room.
Well, it was a call made by Jim Reynolds.
I think the Cubs may ask. Well, they haven't asked yet.
No, and they're going to ask him.
Oh, he's asked him. Joe Madden just made the signal. Now, was his heel on the bag there?
Yeah, well, look, the Giants are 0 for replays in this series.
Well, because he was called safe, that changes the dynamic, because the umpires have to find clear, totally convincing evidence that the call was wrong if they're to overturn it.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
Well, they didn't look at it very long. He's out.
Well, it's going to be a valuable lesson for the second baseman, Chris Coghlan. Speed it up a little bit. Let's go. And he is, for the most part, playing out of position because he hasn't played that spot for quite a long time.
It's only his second game of the year there. Adrianza, first ball swinging, hits a pop-up. Schwarber, and just like that, the inning is over. But the Giants, okay, they lost the replay review, but Brandon Belt reached the basket. A 2-run homer, and the Giants have their first lead of the series as Kane goes back to the mound. 2-1 Giants.
Together, building a better California.
2-1 Giants as we go to the last of the second inning. And we've seen Giants fans here at the ballpark having a great time in Chicago, enjoying, many of them for the first time, seeing Wrigley Field. You spoke to a large group of Giants fans who were here with the Giants Vacations group.
Yeah, they're the group down the left field line.
Easy to spot. They're in their colors. And there's a curveball for a called strike to Miguel Montero, his first game back in the lineup from the disabled list. Former Arizona Diamondback. 10 home runs, 32 batted in. And very familiar with Matt Cain and vice versa. Montero's had 54 career at-bats against Cain. Only a .204 average against him. But he does have a couple of home runs. And that one is hard to track for Aoki, but he is able to put it away. He was staggering a little bit.
Well, John, the group that we spoke to today from Giants Vacations, there's about 200, and they're all basically down that left field line. And GM Bobby Evans was there, Bam Bam Mullins, Eli Whiteside, and when we opened it up for questions,
0-1 to Hendricks.
one of the questions, and it was really important to that group, was to Bam Bam Mullins and to, when we make noise in these visiting parks, do the players hear us? And it was a resounding absolutely. And I think it made all that group feel a lot better knowing that when they do make noise, it's appreciated by everybody.
And that's 1-2. I remember years ago, in the days of Mays and McCovey, Cepeda, and Marichal, those guys, Gaylord Perry, they would always say, "Oh, we don't hear the fans." And that was pretty much you. Henry Aaron would say the same thing. Yeah. That's strike 3 for Hendricks. Out number 2. But I think nowadays that idea of not letting anybody know that you did hear the fans, that sort of disappeared.
Absolutely. Now, if we went to a Cubs Vacations and they asked Eli Whiteside and Bam Bam, now when we boo your Giants, do you hear that? The answer probably would have been, oh, absolutely not.
Oh no, we're focused on the game. We don't hear that stuff in the stands.
That stuff out.
Addison Russell. That is a fair ball. And it's going to go to the ivy. He's going to take the big turn at second and then hold. Well, Aoki played here as a Milwaukee Brewer, so he has previous experience with that ivy.
Now this stays up for Addison Russell, who's not swinging the bat like a guy hitting 235, I can tell you that. But here it kind of gets in there, but it pops out for Aoki. I mean, if it does pop out, then you're going to have a double, a ground rule double. But you're right, he's got a little experience, and that is very helpful.
So 2 down, runner at second, and Dexter Fowler, who grounded out his first time, takes ball 1. If the ball goes into the ivy and then the fielder, it doesn't come out, as you say, it isn't an automatic double, a ground rule double. Truly a ground rule here. That's one of the ground rules in this ballpark. But every once in a while, a ball goes in there, and the outfielder either doesn't see it or just wants to pretend like it's disappeared and does not reach in and grab it. And guys have had triples and even inside the park home runs. Called a strike. And it was that as if Culbreth thought about that for an extra moment. Said, I don't. Well, yeah. No, I think 1-1 the count. Just how much ivy there is. There's a lot more ivy coming out. I love the commercial a couple years ago where they're giving somebody a tour of the outfield, pickoff play, and Crawford knocked that ball down. It almost got by him. May have even hit the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. But all of a sudden, the ground crew guy says, wait a minute, hold on. He reaches in, he starts pulling things out of there. Old electronics and baseball, and then he pulls out Andre Dawson.
I know, it was a great commercial. I agree. He was like sleeping, right? He was
like sound asleep. He says, what year is it? That one came back beautifully at 93 miles an hour with that reverse snap to it. 1-2.
Now that's his not only location wise but velocity wise as good a pitch as Matt Cain has thrown since he's come back.
2-1 the Giants lead. And that one spins Fowler around high and tight. But again, I think he had that two-seam movement, but did not come back quite as much this time.
Well, they want to stay in on Fowler. Look, he's a long-armed hitter. He's standing off the plate. And if they think he's diving in at all, they're going to keep going inside.
And they hit him. Right around the right knee, it appeared.
Well, look, the way Schwarber's been swinging the bat, that is the last thing Matt Cain wanted to do.
He wanted to definitely put him away here. 2 strikes. For Schwarber, Cain was pitching him inside as well and drilled him.
And I think, John, they've decided that that's what they have to do to this kid. See if you can figure out a way to get him out. Eventually somebody's going to figure it out.
Right to Brandon Belt. The breaking ball, and he was not sitting on a fastball, that's for sure.
Well, they finally figured it out. Atom balls.
Brought to you by Ring Central, the easy-to-use business communication solution.
Giants will be home on Tuesday, 2 at the Astros, then the Nationals come in next Thursday. And on Saturday the 15th, the first 40,000 fans receive a 2-for-1 flight voucher from Virgin America as Matt Cain takes a strike. Sunday the 16th, the first 20,000 fans receive a Juan Marichal replica statue courtesy of Coca-Cola. Dwayne Kuiper now with the play-by-play narration.
A strike and it's 0-2. And a strike and it's 0-3. This guy here, Schwarber is not being fooled by much of anything. And when the Cubs have made contact, they've hit the ball pretty hard off of King.
I was going through. He's faced 11 hitters, and which one of them did not hit the ball hard? And maybe Dexter Fowler, the first hitter of the game, hit a ground ball right to Belt. Otherwise, they've all, when they've hit it hard.
This is hit to left field. And speaking of Schwarber, he puts it away. So 2 quick outs on 4 pitches. And that'll bring up Nori Aoki. And you see what Hendricks likes to do. He likes to work fast and so far pound the strike zone. He did walk Pence on a close pitch.
But I'm going back looking at the MLB app. We're talking about those balls being hit hard. The line drive by Schwarber to Belt, 101 miles an hour off the bat. The liner to left field by Montero to start the inning, 101 miles an hour.
He bluffs a bunt and he takes a strike. Okie popped one up and Rizzo came down from first and tried to make a basket catch and he dropped it. There it's low. 2-1. Or make that 1 ball and 1 strike. Duffy to follow. Way out in front. There's a changeup. It's 1-2. It is get you way out in front and then you try to wave at it, and if you're Aoki, you're glad you missed it. Comes back with a fastball at 89, and after the changeup, it obviously looks a lot faster than 89. Outfield swung around to the left. Here's Hendricks as he starts, but Aoki asks for time. Two and 2. The difference in this game, if you just joined us, Belt hit a home run into right field. It landed in the basket. And this kid's got a good attitude. I can assure you of that. No swing, full count. Giants are 3-5 on this trip. And remember, they started out by losing 2 out of 3 in Texas. And the walk.
And a couple of games there in succession. The Sunday game in Texas and the Monday game in Atlanta. And I think the Giants felt like they should have won both of them. Definitely Monday when they had the 6-0 lead and could not hold it. And then they had a lead in the 9th inning and a lead in the 12th inning. Yep. But that game on Sunday, they mounted a stirring 9th inning rally and yet came up a little bit short.
Here's Duffy, who hit into a double play to end the first inning.
But this whole road trip looks a lot different if they'd won both of those games, and we're 5-3 right now after losing 2 here.
Absolutely. Okie started to go, put on the brakes. Duffy takes a strike. Big hole between Rizzo and Coghlan. That's kind of where Duffy makes his living. That's a spot that Hendricks has been hitting, and if he's missing, he's not missing by a whole lot. The Duff man. Aoki back. He's got 12 steals. Buster Posey waiting on deck. We're in the visitors' half of the 3rd inning here at Wrigley Field. Low. Buster Posey back in the batting average race. 2-1 pitch. High and foul and out of play down the right field line. Duffy adjusts his batting gloves. In the game yesterday, he went 1 for 3, 1 for 4 on Thursday. Here it's 2-2 and a full count. So Aoki, who was making all kinds of moves over at first like he was going to go, he will go now.
His last 2 hitters have really worked Hendricks. They've made him throw a lot of pitches.
High to right for Soler. And that's going to end the inning. So no runs, a walk, 1 left. Coghlan, Rizzo, Bryant coming up.
First 2003, Barry Bonds in batting practice here at Wrigley Field launched one over the bleachers and over Sheffield Avenue and through the window of a house across the street.
Wow. And now with the bleachers the way they are, you can't see it anymore.
Where it says WrigleyvilleRooftops.com, that was the building.
Yeah.
But they've added a few extra rows of height to the bleachers out there.
Here's Coghlan who takes a strike. Yeah, that was quite a shot by Barry Bonds. Coghlan takes high. He singled in the third. He hit a line drive to left field. Glenn, my brother Glenn at that time, was doing some sideline stuff. He went out there and did a spot from there as Duffy's going to backhand this and throw him out.
Somewhere on one of my computers, because I took a photo, sort of a telephoto shot, and I have a photo of him peeking out through that window. Yeah,
because I think he got inside the building and
he went right up to that floor. Apparently, it was an apartment that was unoccupied.
Right.
The people in that right field corner area, I don't know what they can see. They see the back of that new board.
Now, I'm wondering if they have a really large flat screen TV for them to watch.
So
Although
really,
they've not been getting along, the Cubs and these people. I doubt the Cubs would offer up a big flat screen TV. As this has popped up, I suppose he's going to watch this one drift into the seat.
somebody sent us a note yesterday saying that all but 3 of those buildings all around the outfield here now are owned by the Ricketts family, the owners of the Cubs.
Gotcha.
So that was one way to diffuse the bad feeling.
Way high to Rizzo. Hey, Dave Fleming's here. There's young Dave. He's going to be in innings 4, 5, and 6. John will be back in the 7th.
He's not that young anymore. He's getting pretty old, in fact.
We were having dinner in the lunchroom, and as Rizzo taps it foul, and we were talking with Lenny Casper, who's the TV voice of the Cubs, and whatever came up, Dave was telling a story. He said, well, this is my 13th year. And I was like, what? His 13th year with the Giants? Is that possible?
I'm sure he's making that up. Although sometimes it seems like he's been here even longer than that.
Yeah, you're right. Hit on the ground towards the hole, and it may have caromed off of Duffy's glove and then shot past Crawford, so Rizzo's going to have a base hit.
I think it did. Now, if he had not touched it, would Crawford have been able to make the play on Rizzo? Maybe, but when the ball was deflected a little bit or redirected by Duffy, it took all the tension out of it.
It'd have been fun to see if Crawford could throw him out. So here's Bryant, who hit a bullet at Crawford. Crawford saved a bunch of runs by nearly turning an inning-ending double play. Bryant ended up with an RBI. And he swings and lifts it high and foul and out of play. Kane was wobbly in that first inning, but the play that Crawford made really saved him. So Kane sets right at the letters, and this is a pop-up that Belt is going to chase. He's still going to chase, and it's off his glove, and it caroms into the seats. Really not hit high enough for Crawford to get comfortable at any time when he was chasing that pop-up.
And as he gets close to that tarp, he starts getting dangerous. He could do some damage. And he took his eye off the ball just to see if he was about to injure himself against that tarp, and the ball hit off the side of the glove. And I can't blame him.
I can't blame him either. So it's 0-2 to Chris Bryant.
And they don't want him getting hurt right now. He's hit 5 home runs in this road trip. He had all the injury problems that I think he'll ever be able to endure in his career last year. And he's looking like he's ready for a big finish to this season.
Tap foul. Well, that is a fact. And the thing about Belt was when he came back last year, it was at a perfect time. And it's really when the Giants took off and played well at the very end to get into that wild card game.
He really kind of found his stroke the last 2-3 days of the regular season, just in time.
High and deep. Left center field. Gone. Well, the pop-up that was nearly caught, and then a big fly. Bryant was totally in the swing mode in that at bat, and the Cubs take the lead. You got a hanger. And that's home run number 15. I mean, every once in a while you'll get an example of a hanging breaking ball, and you just got one.
This one more than halfway up in those bleachers. Ruled a swing by Jim Reynolds. sort of a sarcastic smile on the face of Soler.
Yeah, he didn't go.
No.
And the 1-1 is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, you kind of watch Brian in that at bat, and he just was gonna. He just kept swinging at anything that Kane threw up there. And that's a swing. Well, I mean, that's not. You go back and you say, well, is that a play Belt should have made? No. But it's a play that he thinks that he could have made. So very close. It's now 3-2.
But I think for Matt Cain, hey, it wasn't made. And then you had a guy who's been striking out all the time. He's been swinging and missing, and a lot of times at bad pitches, and you threw him a fat one.
And the walk.
Bruce Bochy was talking before the game about yesterday's game and how many of the mistakes that were made by Giants pitchers came with 2 strikes, and then he said, and that's happened a lot on this whole road trip.
Yeah. Well, this meeting on the mound is brought to you by Ring Central, a leader in team communications.
According to the MLB at bat app, as Righetti's out to speak to Matt Cain, Bryant's home run left his bat at 106 miles per hour and 430 feet. That's a big fly.
So with 1 out, Soler at first. Here's Montero, who lined out to Nori Aoki in the second. And he takes high for a ball, 1-0. The pitcher, Hendricks, is on deck. And he rolls this one off his foot. And it's a ball and a strike. Of all the Cubs hitters, Montero has the most history against Kane, having spent, as John said, all those years with the D-backs. So he is 56th at bat against Kane as he slings one over to first. Fowler, the other hitter in this lineup, having spent those years with the Rockies. So here's Montero, way outside, good changeup, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kane deals, and Montero takes high. It's 3-1. So this should be a pretty good pitch for Montero to hit, at least you would think. And it'll be pitch number 56. And it's ball 4. So here's Kyle Hendricks, who's going to be asked to bunt. Remember, this inning started out with a ground ball to Duffy, but then Rizzo hit a ball that just caromed off the glove of Duffy and then got by Crawford. There's the bunt. Posey's going to go to third, and they got him there, and the throw to first, and they got him there. So defense at its best. Cubs take the lead Dave Fleming, he'll be in. It's 3-2 Chicago. Leonard and other former Giants. The celebrity silhouette. That's the ship. That's not the ship. The silhouette is just a couple of sizes bigger than that. So we're going to be at sea. It's a party. 800-670-0858 or sfgiants.com/cruise. Here it's 3-2 Chicago. Dave Fleming has joined us from the radio side, and it'll be Buster Posey to lead things off. So welcome, Dave.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Posey hit a soft line drive right back to Hendricks in his only at bat. A hanging breaking ball is the difference in this game. So here's Posey, who takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
I said it after the line drive that Posey hit his first time up that I think Buster breaks fewer bats than any other Giants hitter.
I think he and Duffy are the two that do it, and they're the guys that really kind of let the ball get to them. They don't hit many balls off the end of the bat. They might get jammed once in a while. 1-1 pitch. We mentioned earlier where Buster was in the batting race. Yeah, Goldschmidt, Harper. I mean, they at one time had a huge lead. D. Gordon had a lead that nobody was going to catch him. 2-2.
And D. Gordon is back in the mix.
Kyle Hendricks, he's got a couple of strikeouts and 2 walks. And Posey takes strike 3 call. He painted him.
That's a beautiful pitch. Buster was not happy about it.
So here's Pence. Pence drew a walk in the second. He was aboard when Belt hit the home run. Hunter right at 292. And he wraps one into the hole for a base hit.
Well, Hendricks might be lucky he didn't hit that one out.
All right, let's check out our Ford right choice. Brandon Belt in the second inning. Gone. into the basket. And that's a big fly.
The Ivy wore it. The Ivy's still all over the warning track out there.
It is.
Shards of leaves and vines.
Overshift is on for Belt. And he's going to take a strike on the outside corner. There's the Ivy Dave's talking about.
That's a divot.
Crawford to follow. The pen slipped as he was hustling back. Russell, the shortstop, is playing deep. You always think that Belt's just thinking about laying down a bunt, but in this park and the way he's swinging it. 0-2.
It is tempting, though. I mean, the way the Cubs play him, they basically give him a hit if he can just push it on the third base line.
And it's almost as if Joe Maddon's just perfectly fine with that.
Yep. It was funny. Yesterday they did it when the Giants were down late in the game where they needed base runners, where a home run would not have impacted the result.
Belt pulls it on the ground foul as it'll roll past the tarp right into the Giants bullpen. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Belt's home run, his 15th of the season.
He's got 5 of them on this road trip.
He's a streaky home run hitter.
Speaking of home runs, the pitcher, Francisco Liriano of the Pirates, you know him?
Yes, I do.
He hit a home run against Matt Latos.
He did.
4-2 Pirates.
Wow.
A 3-run homer.
Got him. Change up. So Belt gone. Here's Crawford. Crawford bounced out to second in the second. Rizzo holding on Pence here in the 4th. Montero, before Hendricks threw to first, had really set up on the outside corner. See if he sets up out there again. Rolled foul behind Billy Hayes. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Well, the Cubs know Crawford's been swinging the bat well, and they know that without Joe Panik, Adrianza, that 8th place hitter, is behind Crawford in the lineup. And I just have a hard time believing they're going to pitch real aggressively to Crawford, even with the lead, even with 2 outs.
Well, Montero's setting up away again. And this is hit down the left field line. Schwarber on the move, and it's off the wall. And here comes Pence, and they're going to wave him in. And the throw is going to be late. And Crawford is doubled in the tying run.
Well, you noticed it. They had set that target away, and they were trying to keep it out of his power, trying to keep him from really unloading on one, and he unloaded on it to left. I mean, that was not a terrible pitch. It was up, but it was not down the middle.
And he got some backspin on it, and it carried. And we forget how well Hunter Pence can run. So here's Adrianza. Adrianza lifts one high and foul, and that's going to be out of play.
Well, that's a good point you make. We saw it with Bryant staying out of the double play early in the game. with his speed, when you have a middle of the order bat who can also run, I mean, that's such a weapon. And Pence, there are a lot of guys, most guys cannot score on that ball. And he scored really without a play.
The RBI for Crawford, 71.
Top 4 in the league.
So it's 3-3 here in the 4th.
That is good company.
Driven to right, but it's right at Soler, and that's going to end the inning. Giants tie it up. Game coming out.
NLCS Game 5, 8th inning tie game. Will Clark up. Vince Scully on the call.
Line drive, base hit. In comes one. In comes Butler. Going to third is Thompson. 3-1, San Francisco.
And that's quite a moment at Old Candlestick.
Yep. Whenever you see those, you think of Candlestick, and Candlestick really is no more. Just a few little traces.
So here's Russell to lead things off.
But the Giants beat the Cubs in that NLCS and went to the World Series for the first time since 1962.
Russell takes down low. He doubled in the 2nd inning. Plus, it was great to hear Vince Scully.
Vin.
It didn't really sound any different.
I know. Put him on today.
It was the same. 1-2. Fowler to follow. Hit well to left. Down the line and fair into the corner. And Aoki is going to dig it out. And was Russell watching that one?
He did not run. You got to do better than that.
Yeah, I got this one.
Yeah, he was sure.
Well, watch him as he goes. And then he realizes that it wasn't gone. So maybe doubtful that he would have gotten a triple out of it. But here's Fowler. Fowler takes wide, 1-0.
Well, that is true. It could be that he wasn't going to be at third anyway, but it's not a bad look when you're a rookie and you're expected to hustle.
Yeah, just run hard. Just run.
Fowler takes outside. It's 2-0. Fowler bounced out in the first to Belt, and then Kane hit him with a cutter. In the second, he hit Schwarber in the first inning, and he scored.
Well, the freebies are a massive problem. He has walked 3 and hit 2, so that's already 5 free base runners. And there are no outs in the fourth inning. He's behind Fowler 3-0.
Well, I doubt Fowler will swing 3-0, but Kane needs to get into the strike zone. It's 3-1.
And I know there's a runner in scoring position, but with the guy on deck and the way he's swinging the bat, you almost have to just do that again to Fowler.
You got to force yourself to come in. And a full count. So Kane does a nice job coming back. It's 3-2. Russell, by the way, now has 2 doubles. I said it earlier, I'm going to repeat it. He's not swinging the bat like a guy hitting 235. Payoff pitch. And now here's Schwarber.
Well, I think A's fans are going to look at Addison Russell and how he blossoms and wonder what if.
Yep.
He's a good one.
Schwarber hit by pitch and scored in the first, and then he hit a line drive right at Belt in the second. So we'll see if Kane can get out of this mess. A double and a walk. And now the guy that's given the Giants the most trouble stands in. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Kane ready. He looks to second. And the next pitch is high, so it's a ball and a strike. Coghlan is on deck. Crawford's double has just tied this game, and now the Cubs are trying to retake the lead. This is a shutdown inning opportunity for Matt Cain. It's not starting out well. 1-2. .70 pitches now for Kane. Russell now starting to extend his lead at second. 3-2. Make that 2-2. So Kane's got another pitch now to play with Schwarber. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and terrific speed on the bases. Get out to Aoki, and Aoki is going to get underneath it. Did a nice job of making sure that when he caught it, he had his momentum towards third in case Russell, who runs well, decides to take off. Watch how he gets there and then now starts to come in. And that's how you're supposed to do it.
And that's a big pitch. Good job by Kane against a guy who's really swung the bat well.
None that out of the woods yet. Here's Coghlan, who singled and bounced out to Duffy. 3-3 ball game. Kane's been in the stretch all afternoon. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Crawford and Adrianza at double play depth, and it's just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers have tied it up. I don't know how, but I know they've tied it up. Actually, I don't care how they did it. It's just tied. I'm trying to be apathetic about the whole thing.
Kike Hernandez, 2-run homer.
It's kind of what I figured. In tight. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, as soon as you see big numbers on the board for the Dodgers, you figure it's got to be Kike.
Well, Liriano hit one, right? So Kike said, well, if he can do it, well, I'm going to try to do it. And step off the slab. It's 2 balls and a strike. Kane ready the pitch. Swinging a high pop up into left field for Aoki. So 2 outs. And here's Rizzo. Rizzo is 1 for 1, a walk and a single. Doesn't have great numbers against Kane. He's now 1 or make that 2 for 17. I mentioned earlier that I spoke with Bobby Evans and Eli Whiteside and Bam Bam Mullins with the Giants vacations people, a group of about 200 this morning. And there's a pitch high, and I gave him the speech. Look, I'm walking down Michigan Avenue. I'm seeing Giants fans all over the place, and it's like somebody stole their dog. Why the long faces? You're in Chicago. You're going to Wrigley Field. You know, I got like 5 of these today walking around. Are they going to win today? It's like, well, there's a strike to Rizzo. Are they going to win? It's like, well, the answer is I don't know if they're going to win, but just stop the long faces, for crying out loud.
Polish up your World Series ring, for heaven's sake.
1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch is wide.
In this series, the Giants are the most recent World Series winner. They're the defending champs. The Cubs are the opposite. They're the team that has gone the longest.
Well, look, I think our fans are pretty smart. When they make a trip, they want their team to win.
Yeah.
I've invested into this trip. Good pitch. 2-2. So I told him, I said, the next person that asks me, 1, are we going to win today? Or if you have a long face, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm out. Two and 2. Was that Kenny Rogers? Is he a Giants fan? Yeah. He's a Grateful Dead guy. They all kind of hang around together.
Yep.
3 and 2. The runners will be on the move. It's a 3-3 ball game. Kane, the high set, and the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball foul. And we'll reset and do it again.
And this is such a big moment in this game. It's only the 4th inning. Kane already 82 pitches. He's been in trouble the whole way through. And this was 2 on, nobody out with the big hitters coming up. So if he could somehow figure out a way to get out of this with the game still tied.
Well, he's done a good job of getting 2 balls hit to left. And we'll see if he can do that again. At second is Russell. At first is Fowler. Runners go. Fouled out of play. Did not throw him a fastball. See? Not so much a long face.
Yeah. Maybe a little nervous energy with the full count, well, 2 on, 2 out.
It's not the group that I was talking to, though.
No.
Talking to that group down the left field line.
Are we going to win today? I'm going to win today.
3-2. Russell and Fowler will be on the move. They go. Got him. And that'll end the inning.
Yeah, we're going to win today, okay?
5th inning coming up. Well, the Giants never give up. They keep grinding and keep working at bats, whether they're up 7 runs or down 7. So here's Kane. Here's John Lester.
It's a good compliment.
Yeah, it is a good compliment. Although I will say this, as Kane bounces this one to Coughlin. The body language of Lester is one where, if I'm an infielder, I'm not that happy with him. I got to tell you. And I think he's a terrific pitcher, but hands on hips, not happy with the defense behind him. I mean, a lot of guys don't play that stuff.
Yeah, I kind of called him out on it yesterday. I did not think that was well done by him.
But I'd like to have him. Let's put it that way. Here's Pagan, who takes high, 1-0.
Well, he chose the Cubs over the Giants. Giants made a strong push to get him.
Pagan is 0 for 2. And a strike.
What was the Bobby Evans line? He gave the rose to somebody else, or we didn't get it. Some reference to The Bachelor, I think.
Yeah. Two balls and 1 strike. You think Bobby Evans watches The Bachelor, or do you think somebody gave him that line? Is that something we have to ask him?
I don't picture him as a loyal viewer.
I picture him being on the phone. There's it rolled foul. It's 2-2. Every time we see Bobby, he's on the phone.
Every time. He's working.
Yeah, he's trying to make the team and the organization better. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pagan. Pagan shoots it foul, third base side. Sorry, Dave, I did it again.
What'd you do?
It's your inning.
I think you should just keep going now. See, that's on you.
All right, I'll do this half inning, and then I'll give you yours the next inning. So Pagan is the 5th strikeout for Hendricks, and here's Nori out.
Only one of them on a swinging strike 3, so he's got fielding. Look, I think these have been strikes. I don't think the strike zone is a bad one.
No. Aoki is 0 for 1. He reached on an error in the first and then walked in the third. On the ground, and this will be a quick inning for Hendricks. Hey, when we come back, Dave's going to do the play-by-play.
I didn't want to do that one anyway.
Finally, it's 3-3.
Am I ever going to get to do play-by-play?
Is brought to you by Play Flag Football. Register your child today at playflagfootball.com.
There's a great shot of the Windy City. It's a 3-3 ball game. Right, Dave. You get to do play-by-play.
What am I going to do play-by-play?
Okay, you can.
Wrigley Field's looking pretty good today. Packed.
It is. They've spruced up the old girl, haven't they?
They got a lot of more work to do. Kane against Bryant, and strike 1 with the slider.
Well, yeah. What is it? A 5-year project?
Yep. So they're doing kind of phase 2 now. Bryant, foul. This was the last time Bryant was up.
Watch this hanging curveball. Oh! 430 some odd feet.
Yeah, he did not miss that one. And it was on an 0-2 pitch. This 0-2 pitch is foul.
I'm telling you, he's not taking pitches.
No.
He's just swinging. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but he's hacking. And he obviously feels like he's got Matt Cain pretty well timed where whatever he throws, I'm going to at least foul it off. So I'd bounce one if I were Cain.
Posey sets that target away. Not a bad pitch there.
No.
Well, I mean, the first time he came up, he hit that bullet where Crawford made the great play. So he's hit the ball hard twice. And I agree with you. He's feeling comfortable. outside. 2-2. I mean, Kane, unless he can make this a quick inning, he may not be able to go more than 5 today. He's already thrown 89 pitches, so we'll see. I think it would be huge if he could make it a quick inning and perhaps give the Giants a few more outs.
He's had a stressful inning every inning.
3-2 inside from 0-2 to a walk. It's going to be stressful again, and the Giants are going to get the bullpen going.
I don't know, maybe he's thriving under the stressful circumstances that he's putting himself in, but and maybe he just feels better out of the stretch. Who knows? I'll tell you what, he did a great job in the 4th inning getting out of that mess.
He did, because it was a mess with the big hitters coming up. 2 on, nobody out. Schwarber, Coghlan, Rizzo, and the Cubs didn't score. He looked back on that, and the Giants did find a way to keep the game tied. Soler trying to launch one out onto Waveland. Wow, was that a big swing?
You mentioned it earlier, but I'll add to it now. 5 walks and 2 Cub hitters that were hit by pitches. So that's 7 free passes along with the 5 hits.
That is a lot of base runners in 4+ innings. Ball 1 to Soler.
And I think if you watch Matt Cain, I mean, you can see that it's in there, and he's got outs when he's needed to.
You do have to pay attention to Bryant. He's another one of these slugger types who runs. And Joe Madden has raved about not just the pure speed, but the hustle and the good base running. Picks his spots well. That's in the dirt. Posey did well just to kind of knock it down.
Yeah, that for a catcher gets your heart pounding, because you knock it down, then you have a hard time trying to find it, and then it's in between the hitter's feet. And now I gotta not get the heck out of the way. But luckily Bryant wasn't going.
I don't think Posey was anticipating that pitch ending up down there. Bryant has 11 steals. 2-2 with the foul ball.
Wow. Soler had both feet under that swing.
Yeah.
Watch this swing. Think he was fooled? No. But if you're Matt Cain, hey, it's a strike.
Let's see if he can put him away. Curve just misses. That's not a bad pitch. Pretty good take. Well, we saw Strickland getting loose, getting stretched, but it's Contos the one who's actually warming up.
Now this pitch here may determine whether Cain stays in the game or not.
3-2. It's ripped into left. Fastball, Soler with the single. 2 on, nobody out for the 2nd straight inning. And we will see Montero coming up. 97 pitches. He hadn't gotten an out in the 5th, and he's not going to get an out in the 5th. And I guarantee you, Bochy did not want to do this. I mean, the Giants bullpen is already tired.
It's time for a change thing. Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. Contos coming in.
Log on to CSNBayArea.com. Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the 2015 season. Breaking news, video, special features, and more only on CSNBayArea.com.
Alex looks like he's standing up at a wedding. He looks like somebody's best man. Certainly not his. Well, I don't know, Alex. We might have somebody for you here in Chicago.
I can't believe he missed this trip. He missed his chance.
So Contos is going to try to save Kane here in the 5th inning. So the kid from Chicago has got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, Contos inherits the 2-on, nobody out, 1.90 ERA. He has done a heck of a job for the Giants. The thing is, lately he is not used to coming into the game in the 5th inning. Giants use him in the late innings, but they need him now. You got Montero, then the pitcher. Here we go with Contos. First pitch, a good one. Ooh, cut her right under the hands.
Yeah, Montero laying in the weeds, trying to ambush Contos.
He is a guy who often you sort of stereotype him. He's going to take pitches. Likes to work the count. He wanted that first one. Good pitch again. It's 0-2. Bryant at second, Soler at first. Good speed at second, kind of average speed at first. Montero, who's lined out and walked those at bats against Kane. 0-2 in the dirt. Well, not a bad pitch there. Contos. Ball 2. With the four-seamer. Well, you know it's not going to be a stress-free day for Bochy, for Righetti. The Giants, I mean, Ryan Vogelsong started yesterday with Leak on the DL. Yusmeiro Petit pitched an inning and a third, 26 pitches. So we don't know whether he's available or not. He's certainly not available for long man duty. Montero, base hit, and that's going to put the Cubs ahead. Soler will take third. 4-3 Cubs.
Well, check the location. Right out over the plate. And Montero does not miss it. I mean, hits it in a good spot. You not only knock in the run, but you get that runner from first to third.
Yeah, ideal. Now, the one thing that the Giants have in their favor here is it's the pitcher up and not a real good hitting pitcher. So you wonder whether the Cubs are going to ask Hendricks to try to bunt. Montero to second. Still nobody out. Whether he would swing away, he's going to square. Foul on the bunt attempt. Strike one.
Well, it doesn't look like Joe Maddon's going to do anything tricky, like kind of a safety squeeze where you bunt it at that first baseman. And
I think for Joe, the idea may be just stay out of a double play.
Right.
Saw Gary Jones, the third base coach, talking to Soler about all the possibilities. Not a bunt. It's a ground ball. Crawford, what a diving play. Double play. But the run does come in to score. Soler makes it 5-3 Cubs. Brandon Crawford, another tremendous defensive play by him.
Well, he's putting on a show here at Wrigley Field. So a crooked number, but the Giants just trying to keep it from being a high number.
Well, from the Cubs' perspective, they get a run across, so it's not a total disaster for them. In the 2-run inning, those runs will be charged to Kane's record. This would be a different score if not for Brandon Crawford. And he has saved the Giants today. Russell, meanwhile, continues to take some real aggressive hacks.
I mean, he's up there looking like Yasiel Puig for crying out loud.
He is. He is mighty comfortable. Attack mode. He doubled twice against Kane. On one of them, he thought he had a home run. Hit it to the ivy down the left field line. That one, a pop-up. Shallow right. Pence will get there. Inning over. But the Cubs knock Kane out of the game and score twice. On to the 6th. Big hitters coming up. 5-3 Chicago.
Strongest fan photo to hashtag CSN BA Data Strong Fan, and I just see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. This is a Marie Taylor says she watches the games from Seattle. Really? But their hearts belong in San Francisco. She's too cute not to believe her.
Yeah, I'm assuming that that's not Marie, that she didn't actually send us that tweet.
Well, no, you're right. It may be her feelings, though.
Yeah. Matt Duffy against Hendricks. Giants down again. 5-3 Cubs. Cubs have been relentless in this series. Duffy's 0 for 2. Has not hit the ball hard against Hendricks. Seeing him for the first time. Everybody's seeing him for the first time. Got Posey on deck and then Pence. Duffy, a little pop fly. Soler coming over. It's going to be up against the top of that wall. It gets scary when a outfielder comes crashing toward that sidewall.
Yeah, plus you got to watch the carom. That could have got him right in the chops.
1-2 to Duffy. Be huge for the Giants to get a runner on to start the inning. Yeah, hit off that concrete, so it rocketed back. 1-2. Duffy line drive, foul. into that same spot. He's taking credit. He didn't catch it.
Nice play.
Duffy just kind of chopped that one to Coughlin. One out. Well, Matt Duffy, who's been swinging the bat so well all road trip, has found the one guy who he is struggling against, and that's Hendricks. Buster is lined back to the pitcher and struck out. Posey rips a base hit into left. Nice loud contact off of his bat.
He can hit.
Yeah.
Well, you get Hendricks in the stretch. So.
Cubs have the bullpen working. We've seen Joe Madden. He has been so aggressive managing in this series. I mean, he's really, and I think for good reason, but he's managing these games like almost like the playoff games.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
The Cubs, they're chasing the Cardinals. They have so little chance to win that division. The Cardinals are 31 games over 500. So their avenue into the playoffs is the wild card. Pence started, held up, ball one. And the Giants obviously are going to be one of their main teams of competition in the wild card race. Giants are hoping to win the division. That's a strike. Pence has seen the ball well today. He's been on base both times, has walked and singled, scored 2 runs. Those are the updated wild card standings. Giants a game and a half behind the Cubs. The Nationals have fallen back.
That's amazing.
I do think, though, that no matter who wins that division, I mean, right now the Marlins are struggling so badly. Phillies are playing better, but the Braves, we just saw the Braves. They've sort of dismantled their team. The Nats and the Mets are going to get to play those teams so many times down the stretch. That's an advantage. That's a strike to Pence, 2-2. But it is amazing what's happened to them. We'll see him 4 times on the next homestand. Pence somehow hooked one past the dive of Russell. Man, that was Hunter Pence at his best. That was an impossible pitch to hit hard, and he did it.
You got to look and see where this pitch was going. It's way out over the plate.
That's a one-handed swing.
It's a one-hander. It's a one-hander.
That's amazing.
Looked like Pence hit that with a tennis racket.
I bet he's been a good tennis player. And that forehand has knocked the starter out of the game. Cubs go to the bullpen when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
The San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Cubs are leading by 2. Giants have seen a lot of the Cubs bullpen, but they haven't seen James Russell in this series.
And they aren't here either.
Oh, who is that? Who is
It's
it?
Travis Wood.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah. Strike one to
Let me fix my scorecard here. Then.
Well, I mean, look, the point remains. They haven't seen a lot of James Russell. Where is he?
Or this guy.
Why isn't he in the game? He's been kind of the swing man. 7 starts, mostly out of the bullpen. Big spot here. Belt 0-2. Remember him? Started for the Reds, started for the Cubs. Yeah, they do look alike. Okay, so there's Wood on the right, Russell on the left. I can see why in fact, I think they're doing that to mess with us.
Oh, absolutely. Mess with me.
That's a ball. Close. Fastball. Belt has an impressive 2-run homer. He hit it against the wind into the basket to right field against Hendricks, the starter, who's now out of the game. You got 2 on, 1 out here. A home run would put the Giants ahead. Fastball, 2-2. Wind, and it has changed a little bit. It was really blowing straight in at the start of the game. It's blowing in and across from left to right now a little bit more. Belt strikes out swinging.
Well, it's that fastball that sometimes will go right by Brandon Belt. He likes the ball a little lower than where that pitch is. This guy, however, that's not the case.
No, we saw him hit a pitch up and away down the left field line into the ivy. His last time up. Knocked in a run with a double. A double here could well tie the game. Ball 1 to Crawford.
The thing about Crawford is he will hunt for that fastball, and I'm sure he was on the first pitch from Wood.
And again, this would be interesting to see how aggressively they pitch him. Crawford chopped one toward first. It's a fair ball. Rizzo to Wood. The Giants are retired. So Joe Madden went to the bullpen, got the lefty, and he got the Brandons. Giants don't score. 5-3 Cubs.
financial services for you and your business. Visit HEPINS.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, the Giants have one more game to go tomorrow in Chicago, then home for a 2-game series with the first-place Astros from the American League West. Tuesday night game, Wednesday day game. Tickets still available at sfgiants.com/tickets. One more day in Chicago, which has been beautiful this weekend, just not very hospitable for the Giants. Cubs are hot. They're playing well. And in particular, that Cubs offense has just been wailing away at Giants pitching. A 5-3 lead, last of the 6th. Cantos got all 3 outs in the 5th inning in relief of Kane. Now against the top of the order, Dexter Fowler. Ball 1 to him. Fowler was on base twice against Kane. Never had to get a hit to do it. Was hit by a pitch and drew a walk. That's a pop-up. Way, way up there with the wind pushing it. Crawford will get to the line and make the catch. Even a play like that, I mean, he just makes that look so easy. No matter what the wind is doing, he's looked a lot more comfortable with the winds than the Cubs defense has looked in this series.
Plus, he really looks like he enjoys playing on this infield, too.
He does. This game might be 7-3, 8-3, 9-3 without Crawford today. That's how good he's been on defense.
Well, they're still in it because of him.
They are. Here's Schwarber, 0 for 2, been hit by a pitch, scored a run, lined out and flied out. He does like that pitch away. Cantos kept it far enough away, just a foul ball. Against Chris Heston on Thursday night. I mean, Heston was all over the place, but he threw a pretty good pitch to Schwarber. I mean, it was a sinker at the knees on the outside, and Schwarber hooked it into the wind over the right center field wall. That was a really impressive swing. One ball, 1 strike the count. The Chicago Kid on the mound, George Cantos.
This would drive Mike Krukow nuts where Coughlin's standing.
Well, I pointed it out when Mike and I were doing a game together on this road trip in Texas. So the Rangers hitters were doing that. I mean, it was like they might as well have just been right behind home plate.
Or yeah, just stand right behind the hitter. Just don't get in the way of his swings. And all Coughlin's doing is he's trying to get a better angle at watching Cantos and where he releases the ball.
Yeah. Schwarber go? No.
I've told this story before. I played with a guy in A-ball that he get into his windup and he threw right at the guy in the on-deck circle.
Get out of there.
Get into the on-deck circle. That's where you're supposed to be. I guess the on-deck circle is just a suggestion as to where you're supposed to stand.
Foul ball. 3-2. Well, should we text Mike and see if he's ticked off?
I don't doubt he's watching, and he is hacked off. He's probably eliminated the guy.
Yeah, there are big scratch marks all over his TV.
Got his own telestrator at home.
A full count here to Schwarber, 3-2. Ground ball, nobody there.
Cantos does what a lot of pitchers do when there's a shift that's exaggerated.
He just kind of takes a peek into the dugout like, really? There's been a guy standing at second base for 100 years, but not now. I'm sure Cantos thought when this ball was hit, well, all right, that's an out. What? There's the peak right there.
Yeah. And look, in a lot of ways, it's not fair to the Giants coaches who set the defense. Giants have saved way more hits and runs over these last few years than they've given up with the way they've set their defense. But it is bound to happen. That's just part of it. When you do all the maneuverings on defense, the idea is you're going to take away more than you give up, but you will give up some that you wouldn't have if you'd aligned it normally. Chris Coghlan 1 for 3. Schwarber's a big, stocky guy at first, but we've seen him. He can move. He's been running the bases aggressively. And the Cubs as a team have really forced the issue on the base paths. Part of that is that the Giants, particularly Pagan in center field, but Aoki in left, vulnerable to the run game, not real strong throwing arms.
It's the 15th base runner.
Way too many. Coghlan. That will be out of play.
By the way, when we were talking about where Coghlan was in the on-deck circle, that's not just on Coghlan. A lot of guys do it. I mean, Rizzo's standing right where Coghlan was. But I don't know how far you can go before maybe an umpire would say something. I mean, can you go all the way to Ernie Banks' old number? I mean, I don't know.
Well, they've worn out that one spot. That is a swing. Cantos gets Coghlan to chase. You look over on the Giants side in the on-deck circle, and their divots, so to speak, their footprints are mostly on the far side of the actual mat.
Well, Mike's sitting at home right now going, well, that's because our hitters aren't cheaters.
And neither is our grounds crew.
Just kidding, Mike. Just kidding.
There goes Schwarber. Posey from his knees. Swipe tag. Got him! My goodness. A throw from the knees and the swipe by Crawford. What more can he do? Schwarber's not going anywhere. He thinks he was safe, and he wants the Cubs to look at it.
Well, he might be, but it was still a terrific effort by both Posey and Crawford. This is the only thing Posey felt like he could do was get rid of it from his knees. And it might be that he's safe.
Yeah, the question is, when does the glove first touch him? Does it get him anywhere in there? Cubs want to take a look at it. They're going to challenge. Does he pop up off the bag at any point when that front foot comes up?
Well, the Giants are 0 for Chicago in replay reviews. And this replay review is presented by Xfinity.
I mean, they haven't won a game and they haven't won a challenge or a replay or anything. The question is there any moment in which the foot is not on the bag and the glove is on him?
What they're doing here in Chicago on the big board.
See, I think he's out because I think that top foot comes off the bag and the back foot still isn't at second. Watch.
Yeah, you're right.
Right there, he's out to me.
I think you're right.
I think he's out.
Well, the way things are going, it's a big play in this game.
It is.
So there you go.
See? That front foot is already kicked up off the bag. And his glove is on him before that back leg slides.
Kind of like the spirit of the rule. I mean, is that really where this replay is going to? But now, if you keep the glove on these guys that are sliding, then you're going to get some guys.
Yep. And I agree with you. There's a bigger discussion about what is really the spirit of the rule, but that's not what we have now with the replay system. Really just a tremendous play by both Posey and Crawford. It's hard to know what more Brandon Crawford could be doing in this game defensively. They're taking a long time to look at it. He's out.
Well, if they don't overturn this,
Bruce Bochy, the hat's coming off, and then after that, I don't know what.
You might be right. He's been not very happy with how things have gone.
This is a crew that has been pretty quick in their determinations. Now they're going to take the headsets off and out. That's an unbelievably great play by Posey and Crawford.
Fabulous.
Giants have a win in Chicago.
Unbelievable. Oh, Joe, stop.
Coughlin at the plate, 2-2.
Are we ever going to win a replay?
On the ground to second. Adrianza throws him out. Inning over. John's coming back over.
Good work, Dave.
Hey, I'll see you after the game.
You got it. Wrap time. Kane went 4 innings. Hendricks went 5 1/3. Bryant's got a big home run. Belts also hit a home run. 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. Is the difference in this game for the Cubs. And that's our Toyota game summary. So Wood, who retired the last 2 Giant hitters, there's a group of our Giants fans being mighty proud. Will face Ari Adrianza here in the 7th. Giants trail by a pair. Adrianza runs up to bunt and he takes a strike. Jonathan Herrera is now at second base.
So here's the 0-1 to Herrera, and he fouls it back. John Miller is back. There's Strickland getting loose. On deck is Maxwell. And a little low. Hendricks and Wood. And the 1-2. Out of play. Adrianza popped out in the second, lined out to right field to end the fourth. Giants have only 5 hits in this game and 1 left apart. A home run by Belt. Pulls foul right over the Cubs dugout.
Well, we're so used to seeing guys on base all the time when Buster Posey comes up. Aoki, Panic, Duffy. Those guys have all hit over 300, all with excellent on base percentages, but not tonight. Not today.
On play again.
Pagan hitting leadoff is 0 for 3. Aoki, although he's been on base twice on an error and a walk. And then Duffy 0 for 3. Very uncharacteristic for Matt Duffy. Justin Grimm, the right-hander, up in the Cubs bullpen. He's been a 7th-inning setup man for them for the most part.
Hit well into left center field. On the move is Schwarber. He's going to get there, and he makes the catch.
Buster Posey, who made that throw, watch how he threw it from his knees. The old Benito Santiago kind of look. Was not a very accurate throw, but then handled beautifully from there by Brandon Crawford. And as it turned out, the key, he kept that tag on the runner. The front foot was there first, but it came off the bag before the back leg, the one that was folded under, before that hit the bag.
Here's Maxwell. Also saw Schwarber maybe slow down just a little bit by taking a look in to see what was going on.
Not the way they teach it.
No, not unless it was a hit and run. It's way out in front is Maxwell.
And maybe it was.
Could have been.
Although Joe Madden likes the running game. He coached under Mike Scioscia and with the Angels. That was the style that was favored by Scioscia, sort of that National League style of ball. And Madden had that style of ball in Tampa Bay, and he's brought it here to Chicago.
So Maxwell, a pitch out of the strike zone from reaching here in the 7th with 1 out. Pagan on deck. Giants have some work to do. Rennell's here.
The voice of AT&T Park.
Her husband Tommy to her right.
She's a very social person.
Yeah, what does a PA person do? They talk, right?
Now batting the pinch hitter, Justin Maxwell.
And the walk to Maxwell.
Somebody tell Rennell. Well, that's a big walk. Brings the possible tying run to the plate. Pagan has been a better hitter so far this year, right-handed. 0 for 3 today, though, and only 4 for 25 on this road trip. Oh, so she knows she's on TV now.
Absolutely. So here's Pagan now batting right-handed. Pirates are leading the Dodgers 6-4. Game in the 5th inning.
They got all 6 of their runs in the first 3 innings against Dodgers starter Matt Latos.
Snap throw, and caught everybody off guard, including Rizzo.
Was that Terry Mulholland step off the slab and snap it over there? Move. You know, that first throw, the little trick play, if that had been a good throw, he might have gotten him. It would have been a low throw next to the bag there.
Just pitch to Pagan is a called strike. Pagan looking for that first home run of the season.
I thought he had one yesterday.
I did too.
The 3rd inning of that game yesterday against John Lester.
0-2. Nori Aoki is on deck here in the 7th. Nope, close. 2-2, or make it 1-2.
You know what happens in this scoreboard? It's a hand-operated, old-timey scoreboard, but the guy here who puts the balls and strikes up there is the fastest in baseball
ever. From your eyes, when you watch the pitch to the board, you cannot beat him.
Forever, I'm given the wrong count because I'm not used to the board already a split second after the pitch was thrown, already showing what the new count is.
You can't beat him. And he's rarely wrong.
Well, if he's ever wrong, I figure the umpire blew the call.
Absolutely. Pagan, little pop-up foul. He stays alive.
There, still 2-2. Yep. Absolutely correct. Well, that is a real characteristic. Fenway Park has the big wall in left field. That's the major feature and famous feature of Fenway. Here is the ivy on the walls and that big scoreboard, the hand-operated scoreboard in center.
Pagan again. Fights one off.
Jets really have to get Pagan going.
Yeah.
Because we've seen over the years when he starts getting regular base hits and times on base, the offense just percolates. His average has fallen to 259 now.
Wood looking into Montero. And it's high, so a good take to make it 3-2.
And look how quickly that 3 was up there.
You can't beat it.
Now Jim Lynch, he makes a call as fast as anybody. Ready 3, take 3, and it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah, you can beat Jim Lynch, then you're doing something. We'll see what Bruce Bochy has going on here with Maxwell.
He's a fast runner, but a pitcher with a tough move.
Popped him up. And Herrera is going to put it away. So an 0 for 4 afternoon for Pagan. And that'll bring up Nori Aoki. Aoki is 0 for 2. He hit a home run in the game last night. Here he pops it up. He had that swing. It'll be Herrera again, and that's going to end the inning. Giants strand one, bottom of the 7th coming up. Lead for the Cubs is Contos stays. Actually, it's Strickland when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. So Strickland in to replace Contos. And the pitch to Rizzo is a ball.
We got a visit from Rick Sutcliffe, former Cubs great right-hander who sang the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" from the TV booth between innings. He was distracting us with the pitching change and everything going on.
You think? High to right field. Pence in and over, and Pence will make the catch. So Rizzo retired. Yeah, this is not the perfect booth. I mean, there are a lot of changes being made at Wrigley Field. Where we work, they're probably going to be the last changes that they make. Everything is pretty small and confined in our areas of work. So being easily distracted, yeah, that's possible. Bryant takes outside 1-0.
That looked pretty good. Yeah, there are a lot of, and you and I took a look before the game. They're working like crazy today on a Saturday.
Absolutely. There's a strike, and that evens the count. A number of different phases that are going to happen around the ballpark, in the ballpark, at our level. 1-2, and if you really believe in the old, they're going to save the best till last. Well, then this ought to be fabulous up here.
Here we are up under the rooftop here at Wrigley. They cannot make us go any higher, though.
Ball back.
Because the rooftop itself is part of the historic landmark status of this ballpark. So they cannot play around with that part of the structure. They can rebuild the stuff that's beneath the roof a little bit.
1-2 to Bryant.
The wind is still blowing in, but it may not be blowing quite as hard as it was a little earlier.
I don't believe it is. Got him. 2 outs. And here's Soler.
The visiting clubhouse, I guess next year, when they finish, they've been remodeling the home clubhouse. It'll be ready by next season. Be much bigger. And then they're going to start working on the visiting clubhouse. And Bruce Bochy said he loves the history here, loves the ballpark itself. He says the visiting clubhouse is just too small.
It is. It's extremely small. Soler fouls it back, and it's no balls and 1 strike, and it's been small for a very long time. And years ago, watching the Cubs when I was a kid, you'd watch the Cubs players go down the left field line where there was a door, and that's where the clubhouse was back then.
And the current clubhouse is the remodeled clubhouse from the, I guess, the mid to late 80s.
Out of play.
And they also remodeled the visiting clubhouse around that time, but they did not enlarge it. So if they didn't enlarge it, I don't know what good they did with it.
The old clubhouse that we were in was more square. This one's narrow.
So they may have made it worse.
Yeah, I like the old one better.
There's that doorway you were talking about, still out there in left field. This park was opened up in 1914, but not for the Cubs. They had a 3rd major league that began play that year, the Federal League. And the Chicago Whales of the Federal League played here for 2 years.
Wow.
The league folded, and then the Cubs moved in.
Out of play.
But Philip K. Wrigley, the owner of the ball club, eventually said, we need to expand the ballpark. And they made a lot of changes under Wrigley's stewardship. But they did not put that upper deck in until 1927. But there were delays in the work, and only the left field line upper deck was finished during the 27 season. There was no upper deck along the right field line. That upper deck, that didn't exist until 1928.
And that'll end the inning. 98. John Miller will call the 8th. It's 5-3 Chicago. The Giants beat the Cardinals in St. Louis 15-0. Marco Scudo hit a grand slam in the 9th to cap off the scoring. Scudero went 3 for 6 It was the largest margin of victory in a shutout against the Cardinals in Giants franchise history. How about that? When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up in repair experts. And the new pitcher is Pedro Strop.
So Strop, who's been really tough to hit, probably the toughest pitcher to hit so far statistically. 48 and 2/3 innings, only 23 hits allowed. Whoa. He's allowed about what? About 4 hits for every 9 innings pitched, that's just absurd. Ball 1 to Matt Duffy. Strop comes in to face the Giants' big hitters here. Duffy, Posey, and Pence. Down by 2. And that's a ball too low. Great job by Travis Wood. There's Denorfia now in right field. This pitching change was part of a double switch. Denorfia into the 8th spot of the order. Duffy thrown out by Bryant, and he is 0 for 4. August the 8th is the date today. And in 1988 on this day, that was the night that the lights went on for the first time in the history of Wrigley Field. They called it opening night because they'd never had a night game here. Jack Brickhouse was here holding the microphone there. Let there be light was the chant.
Yep.
Rick Sutcliffe was on the mound, who had won the Cy Young Award just 4 years before as a Cub. And then they played, 3 or 4 innings, and then the rains came and the whole thing got rained out.
It was almost as if the baseball god said, there'll be no lights at Wrigley Field.
Night game, are you kidding? Buster Posey 1 for 3 with a ball and a strike facing Strop. That's why Rick Sutcliffe was here today for the commemoration of that. 8/8/88. August 8, 1988. The lights went on for the first time at Wrigley Field. Sutcliffe threw out the ceremonial first pitch today, and it was a good one. Down the right field line, foul. Here's Rick. And he has been going to spring training with the Cubs, doing some instructing, still doing national television for the worldwide leader. Buster says he fouled that ball, but the plate umpire Culver said no. 2 down.
Well, let's see. Nope. But look, it's a good try. Do you think you can get away with it? And when you think about how hot Buster Posey's been, we haven't seen a swing like that in a long time.
5-3, the Cubs are leading. Buster's 1 for 4. Now Pence has been on base every time. A walk and 2 singles. He scored 2 of the Giants' 3 runs. And the count is 0-1. He walked in the 2nd and scored on Belt's home run. Walked in the 4th, scored on Crawford's double.
There's a quick pitch.
He did it again and strikes him out. That ball is caught by Montero. For the last of the 8th, still 5-3, Chicago.
MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You get a lot of different things, look-ins, replays, radio broadcasts, much more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. It's a 5-3 lead. Santiago Casilla is the new pitcher. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts. So there's Casilla and his numbers, and he needs some work.
He has not been in a game since last Monday in Atlanta. And there's ball one to Miguel Montero. Montero got a big hit back in the 5th inning with the game tied at 3. George Cantos had just come on in relief of Matt Cain with a couple of men on, and Montero got to 2 strikes, but eventually got a base hit to knock in the go-ahead run. Sinking down and away at 92 miles an hour, 2-0. You wonder, what if the Giants go ahead in the 9th inning? They've used Casilla here in the 8th inning. I guess Romo would end up being the closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would that be a one-time only thing, or could there be a change of foot here? There's a foul back out of play. Casilla and Romo, they've been flipping back and forth as closers over the last several years. Three and one. Montero's also walked and lined out to left. Cubs have had a hard time. Their offense, although they've hit well in this series, for much of the year they have not hit that well as a team, and they've been looking for more left-handed offense. This is a big thing for them to get Montero back, and that's a walk.
Now stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants post-game live. You get highlights, reaction analysis. It's all coming up right after the game.
So a leadoff walk, and now Chris Denorfia will come up for the first time. He came on as part of a double switch with Strop in the Giants half of this inning. We're in the 8th, 5-3. The Cubs on top. And it's 0-1. Cubs used their normal closer Rondon a lot yesterday, an inning and 2/3. And he is not warming up right now for the 9th inning. They have a left-hander up out there. One ball, one strike. Jeff Russell, veteran lefty, is the one warming up. Giants have 2 lefties coming up in the 9th inning, Belt and Crawford. And then the switch hitting Adrianza. That's in for a strike. Now it's 1-2. Denorfia, the former San Diego Padre, and when he was a Padre, he was a nemesis for the Giants.
Yeah, he played a lot against the Giants. He's more of a role player here.
Softly, and Duffy looked at second, thought better of it, and gets Denorfia at first. Montero hustling over to second, and Duffy decided, well, I don't want to force this. We got to get somebody out. And he might have been able to get Montero at second.
Yeah, I think he would have, but at this point, I guess he just didn't want to risk it.
After he made the throw to first, he immediately walked over to Brandon Crawford, and you could almost imagine him saying, well, what do you think? Should I have thrown to second?
Now, Crawford would be the guy to ask. He had the best angle at the whole play in front of him.
So here is Addison Russell, and this is the 2nd day in a row that he has played instead of Starlin Castro. I haven't seen anything where Joe Madden has said, well, Castro's not going to play now. But it's that time of the year. It's a pennant race, and all of a sudden he's not playing, and Addison Russell, the young guy, had been moved over to short, his natural position. And he's got another hit, his third of the game. And he's going to go for second on the error by Pagan. 6-3 Chicago.
Well, this is his 5th hit in the series, his 3rd today. And I mentioned it earlier, somebody's getting Addison Russell out. The Giants are not. And then the error by Pagan. This complicates matter here in the 8th.
So now Dexter Fowler. Javier Lopez, the left-hander, up in the Giants bullpen. And it's 0-1. There's Javi. So a leadoff walk to Montero, and that has been turned into a run. In there, 94 miles an hour, 0-2.
6 walks, John. And 2 of these Cubs hitters have been hit by pitches. So that's 8 free passes.
3 of those have actually themselves turned into runs, which is not to mention the other ones that maybe moved runners up and helped set up other runs. Matt Cain with just a nightmarish stint on the mound. He pitched into the 5th inning. He faced 25 hitters and 13 of them reached base against him. 4 innings plus 2 batters, 6 hits, 2 hit batters, and 5 walks in 4+ innings. So more than 3 base runners per inning in Matt Cain's start. The great thing that he did was he didn't allow a hit with a runner in scoring position the whole time he was out there.
No, he got outs when he needed to get out.
The Cubs were 0 for 7 against Cain in their at-bats with runners in scoring position. And we've seen that for years from Matt Cain. The statistical people have always said, well, he's going to get lit up next year. That's just lucky. And then he did it again next, and he did it for every year for about 6 years in a row. Down the right field line. That'll be another run. Into the corner, off the ivy. And Fowler, a fast runner, is going to keep going for third, and he makes it standing up. And the Cubs start to put it away now. 7-3, Chicago.
Well, Buster wanted it up, and Casilla threw it down. And for Dexter Fowler, he's a low ball guy, and he just hooked it down the right field line. And once it got into that corner with the speed of Fowler, it was going to be a triple.
So Santiago Casilla is finished. Faces 4 hitters, 3 of them reach. 2 runs in, a runner at third. Lopez comes in.
Lopez comes into the game. This will be for Lopez his 54th appearance. You see the earned run average, and you also see what left-handers are doing against Lopez.
And the answer is not much. And right-handers aren't doing that much either. His total hits allowed is 12 and 29 in the third innings. He's issued 8 walks, so he's allowed 20 base runners total. Hits, walks, everything else put together in 29 and 2/3 innings. The infield is in for Kyle Schwarber. 1-1. Santiago Casilla used in a non-save situation, and it did not go well for him. A big concern for the Giants. One and one. Schwarber has been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Lined out to first, flied out to left center, and singled. You can see a 1/3 of an inning. 2 runs, 2 hits allowed, and he's responsible for that runner at third base. There he is, Dexter Fowler. 2-1. Foul. Brought the hands right in against the body and pulled that ball, but foul.
That's a good test for Schwarber. You're going to face not many guys like Javier Lopez. In the young career of this kid, he's facing one of the best when it comes to getting left-handed hitters out.
They faced each other in Thursday night's game, and Schwarber popped out to third. And a foul tip, and that got the plate umpire, Fielding Culbreth, right around the right shin. Oh, the foot. Yep. Ouch.
Yeah, I don't want to have to make that decision. Would you rather be hit in the shin or the foot?
Just off the inside, apparently. Buster kind of held it there for an extra few moments, almost as if to say, are you sure? Look at this. And the Pitch FX, by the way, on the MLB at bat app said, yeah, caught the corner. And a foul ball. Still 3-2. That one hopped. Did that hop up into the seats, or did the Giants player give it to him?
No, I think it hopped up. Share it with your brother. He's not going to give it back.
Oh, there it is. Quick.
Oh, good job, Dad. There you go. Oh, brother's going, seriously?
Base hit. Fowler in to score, and it's 8-3. Second hit of the game for Schwarber. Pretty good kid, 22-year-old Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, good tester right there.
And on another day, he would have been called out on strikes a couple of pitches before that. Well, that one's called a strike. A couple of pitches late for Javier Lopez.
A couple of pitches.
Three runs are in the inning, all charged to the record of sad to say, Santiago Casilla. A walk, a single, and a triple allowed in the 4 batters that he faced. And really, when this happens, there's not much you can do except trying to let the guy pitch his way out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The hardest part, though, John, is when you're a closer, what situations are you going to be in where you're going to get a chance to work on some things? The only thing the manager can do then is take you out of that role for a little while to get a couple of innings in.
2-2 to Jonathan Herrera.
His outing, John, on Monday, he had, was it Monday when? Monday was the game where he gave up the home run to Przinsky.
He did.
Correct? It was the game on Wednesday where he came in, and that's the best stuff we've seen him have.
Duffy over to second for 1. Adrianza double play. But a 3-run inning for the Cubs to blow it open. 8-3 Chicago.
Bryant, who got a hanging breaking ball from Matt Cain, and that came in the 3rd inning, and he hit his 15th of the year. He had an RBI earlier in the 1st inning. So the 15th big fly now with 64 runs batted in. That's our Honda player of the game, Chris Bryant. New pitcher is James Russell, the left-hander. So Russell comes in. You see his numbers, very good. And he's in because Rondon has pitched a lot, and also he gets to face a couple of left-handers here in the ninth, and it'll be Belt to lead things on. So Russell to Belt, and the pitch is high. Belt homered in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, struck out in the 6th. It's a high fly ball left center field. Fowler over, and Fowler in front of Schwarber. 1 out.
By the way, I had said erroneously that Casilla had not pitched in a game since that game in Atlanta Monday, but he had pitched Wednesday,
right,
and pitched well Wednesday, although not in a safe situation. The Giants were ahead 6-1 when he came on for the 9th inning.
Yeah, he was dealing in that game. So here's Crawford. Crawford doubled in a run in the 4th. That was the tying run. Here he takes a strike.
Jason Mott, a right-hander, warming up in the Cubs bullpen.
Down low to Crawford.
James Russell, who comes from a baseball family, his dad, Jeff Russell, used to be a closer in the National League with the Cincinnati Reds, and eventually was with a few other teams.
Harry Adrianza to follow. Giants need more than one base runner. They need a bunch. It's 8-3. Crawford wraps one up the middle, and he's got a base hit. And that'll bring up Adrianza.
2-hit game for Crawford. And another excellent defensive performance by him.
Plus another hit off a lefty.
For a while there, he wasn't getting many hits against lefties. Last year, he hit much better against lefties than he did against righties all year long.
Adrianza's 0 for 3. Kelby Tomlinson is on deck. And a line drive down the left field line, a base hit. Crawford's digging. And they're going to wave in Crawford. And he's going to score easily. So Adrianza with a double and an RBI, and it's 8-4.
This is an odd ballpark in the configuration, in that usually ballpark is big in the power alleys and in center field. This ballpark is really big in the corners. And then you see there the fence curves in and straight away left field. Same thing in right field. But that ball goes into that left field corner. It's 355 to the foul pole down there. So that gave Crawford plenty of time to come in to score.
So there's Joe Madden. So Mott's going to come in. One out here in the ninth. A run in, a runner in scoring position, and we'll be back. Live here on CSN Bay Area. You get reaction to this game. You get all the highlights around the major leagues. And you get the latest from the Niner and Raiders training camps.
New manager Joe Madden on a big photo outside Wrigley Field right next to John Lester. Madden, who had so much success with really a small market team, Tampa Bay, and now here in Chicago, part of the excitement. And he is thrilled just to be part of it.
So now it's Blanco instead of Tomlinson. And Mott throws high, 1 ball and no strikes.
I talked to Matt yesterday. Asked him where he's living here in Chicago. He's right on Rush Street.
Yeah.
He's living full time on Rush Street. Right in the middle of things.
Right where the action is. 2-0 to Blanco with Pagan on deck.
There's Joe Madden. He's grown a beard since the season started. He was telling me about the restaurant. There's a famous old Chicago restaurant here called Gibson's. You could play a night game here and still go into Gibson's long after the game and get a full meal if that's what you want. Rush Street kind of stays open till almost sunrise.
Yep, absolutely.
But he's living in a hotel there, and it's a noisy neighborhood at about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning still.
There's a call strike to Blanco. Blanco hitting .293. And he drives it into center field. It's in the park to Fowler. Two outs. And that'll bring up Pagan. Pagan is 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, a fly ball, and a pop-up. As this crowd of, and not many have left, of over 41,000 now standing. And here's the Cubs trying to win their 9th out of 10. So Pagan. And Pagan ropes one to right, and he's got a base hit. And they're going to wave in Adrianza. And Adrianza's going to score, and Pagan with a base hit.
Well, he needed one.
He did.
Whether it helps him come back and win this game or not, the Giants are anxious for Pagan to find that stroke and get hot.
Well, now you just keep the line moving as you get to the big fellas. The tying run is still not coming up. Tying runs in the on-deck circle. Pagan goes, and Aoki takes a strike. Aoki's been on base twice. He does not have a hit. He picks high. Mott to the plate, swinging a bouncing ball, and it's into right field. And here comes Pagan, and he's going to score, and now the tying run's coming up. So the one thing Bruce Bochy always says about this bunch is they don't quit. And now here comes Joe Madden again.
He's got a right-hander up in the bullpen, not Rondon, the regular closer. I think it's Justin Grimm. He's been one of the setup men. So Grimm will be coming on. The Giants are now down by 2. Duffy coming up. We'll be back.
Pre-game live will start at 10:30. We'll be on the air at 11 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. So here's Grimm. Grimm throws hard. Got a 1.53 earned run average. And Duffy represents the tie and run, and he's 0 for 4 in this game. And the idea now is get Buster Posey to the plate. And breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Graham got sort of the insider's save in the 5th inning on Thursday night. He's the one who came out in the 5th in relief of Hamill, the starter, with 2 men on and nobody out. He retired Blanco, Pagan, and Aoki in succession. A huge sequence in that game.
So it's 0-2 to Matt Duffy. Outside, 1-2.
Well, Giants fans know well that Duffy is an excellent 2-strike hitter.
On the ground to Russell. Got him. That's the ball game. Well, Rizzo dug that one out. And other than that, it could have been a little bit of a disaster with Buster Posey. Bruce Bochy's going to look at it.
So they can't leave yet. They can't sing their song just yet, although they've already started it.
They got him.
He was out.
Duffy hustling, and Rizzo really made a nice play to save Russell from an error. So, big game tomorrow, John.
And they're up against the other Cubs ace, the right-hander, Arrieta. Not nearly as well known as John Lester, but he is really